Sound the alarm one more time. It is time for the rapid rundown. NFL Week 6. Yeah, we hit the over on the alarm. But let's run through these matchups. We begin with the Thursday Night Football Supreme. Now, last week's Thursday Night Football was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. It can't get any worse, can it? Oh, it can. Commanders, Bears. It's a 1-point line.
You had to say that, didn't you? And then the football gods, as if in answer, have decided to grace you with this speckled turd of a game.
I'm going to go with an upset, Commanders upset, because I am not a Justin Fields fan. I think the Bears win games in spite of him and not because of him.
Carson Wentz is not
Oh, he's not the Carson Wentz of old, but Carson Wentz is still at least for one quarter of a game.
I disagree. I'm taking the money here.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'm gonna have to break the tie early on. Yeah, first of all, I feel bad for all of us. I feel bad for Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartsock have to make the call in the NFL on the Prime Video. Another
sucky week for them.
Yeah.
Al Michaels just sounded like he wanted to go home. Kirk too.
I mean, wait, I come do this big package for this, and at least, Kirk Herbstreit's got college football on Saturday, and he's got an unbelievable slate of action happening on Saturday this week. As far as this game goes, look, I think it's now or never for the Commanders. I think another name you're going to see on the head coaching front that could be let go here, especially if they lay a dud here, is Ron Rivera. And it's crazy to think that I still trust Kirk Cousins enough. I mean, he did throw for 350-plus yards on Sunday. Justin Fields can't throw for 350. I don't know if the Bears' offense can score 300, can have a total of 350 yards. I'm going to take the more explosive team and take and I say this hesitantly, I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game, and it'll be a little bit more than 12-9. But I'll take Washington to start.
I was going to say, can you say that with a straight face? Commanders and explosive offense.
Well, I mean,
little bit more.
Implosive is a kind of chemical reaction.
Yeah. Very, very hesitant in saying this, but I'm going to take the Commanders +1 to start to start week 6.
A wet fart is technically an explosion, so you're right.
Yes. And they'll be laying a lot of those, and Ron Rivera will be fired if they lay an absolute dud here to Justin Fields on Sunday.
Ron deserves better.
Thursday.
Happy Friday, Ron. You're fired. Which is sad because I agree. Ron does deserve better. This team is just. Yeah, and even he knows in the comments.
Well, his comments that he made this after the game on Sunday, basically throwing Kirk Cousins under the bus. I mean, you don't do that, even if it's accurate or not. Rivera's gonna be gone because Wentz is still gonna be there. And Rivera's not going to have any say in all this. He's going to probably be gone if they lay a dud here really, really soon.
Johnny, I agree. He shouldn't have done that, but it's also the truth.
Truth does hurt.
Ravens and the Giants. Ravens are a 5-point favorite at MetLife. So, you know what? They keep proving us wrong. I know the Giants are a home team. I know the Ravens defense is weak. And they do have the old Ravens defensive coordinator in Wink Martindale. So there are opportunities for the Giants to show up, but can they really do it 2 weeks in a row? I mean, I did say these 2 weeks were going to be a test. They passed one. I don't know if they can pass both. And I kind of like picking against them with the chip on the shoulder. They do play better with a chip on their shoulder. So I'll take the money.
I'm gonna go. I don't like the Ravens defense. I'm gonna go on record saying that, but yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can out gunsling Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna take the money as well.
I'm gonna go halfway with you guys on this one. I think the Ravens can win this game, but I don't think they can win by more than 5. I think the Giants can keep it to within a field goal. And let's be honest, with the way the Ravens defense has been and the way the Giants have been going, who's to say the Giants don't pull this one out too? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to, but I will grab the 5 points with the Giants in this one.
Yeah, believe me, I've reserved the right to be wrong. I've been eating my words with my breakfast the past couple of weeks.
It could be 20. I mean, it could be something like 27, 28, 27-24, 28-24 Ravens. And even if that's the case, if I take the Giants, I'd still get a win. So I'm going to take the Giants +5.
That's a fair point. You know what? We all did pick the Ravens, however, as the winner, so I'll still give it the cash register.
Yes.
You still get the cash register, Ravens. Congratulations. Jaguars and the Colts. The Colts somehow are a -2 favorite. Now, I know Jaguars were rough last week, but really, Matt
You
Ryan
can beat
and
the Colts. Come on.
I know they beat the Chiefs the one week, but come on, Vegas.
You can beat the Colts. I'm sorry. I'm taking
Yeah,
the Jags.
I'm going upset city on this one. Jaguars.
Vegas did this a lot last week. They put some very weird numbers on some of these games. And I feel like that's kind of the case here. I know the Jaguars have been able to beat the Colts a lot. It was just a couple of weeks ago they did it in Jacksonville. But I tell you, Jacksonville's run into some problems here that are kind of alarming. You know, I know they jumped out to a 14-0 lead against Philly, but that didn't hold on, and then they laid an absolute dud last week. Indy at home seems to be a little bit of a different team, but I'm going to go with the better coach and the better quarterback system, and that's Jacksonville +2. So it's a sweep.
Going up sweep on upset city. And
Upset
you know
special number 2, Jacksonville, or even 3 if you want to say it. Give me Jacksonville +2.
And you know what? Since everybody seems to, all 4 of us seem to be in agreement, because I think Morganson said this as well. Yeah, he went Jaguars as well. You know what? I'm in desperate need of one of my locks to finally land. So you know what? This is my lock. This is my bench lock for the week. Jaguars over Colts, an upset.
Bold, I like it.
I'm not going to let a Jaguars Colts thing, not realizing last time how bad the Jaguars have spanked the Colts over the last few years. I'm not letting this one get away from me. I'm going Jacksonville as my lock. We move over to Cleveland for a matchup between the Patriots and the Browns, where the Browns are a 3-point favorite. I know the Lions were wet the bed against the Pats, but you know what? The Pats defense, I'm starting to come around, not just the defense, but I'm starting to come around, Johnny, to what you said. The Pats are pretty terrible so far. And Cleveland, credits due. I don't like the offense, but Chubb is still Chubb. Hunt's been doing very well in a contract here. And the Browns defense is still one of the better defenses of the National Football League. So
yeah, I'm taking the money.
I'm going to take the money on this one as well.
2022, the Browns are favored over the New England Patriots. What a world, right?
What bizarro world do we live in?
2022 in a nutshell right there. The Browns, look, guys, you could make the case, if you look at their games, could easily be at least 4-1, if not 5-0. And their ground game has been so successful, and their defense is so stifling. I think that's really helped Jacoby Brissett out a lot. I think that continues in this one. I know the Patriots defense has been stifling these last couple of weeks, but I don't like the Pats at all, and I'm going to take the money here and go for a sweep. Give me the Browns laying the 3.
So we're okay. So sorry about that. So we're all saying take the money on this one.
Yes.
Take the money. All right. So we go now to the Bengals and the Saints, where the Bengals are only a 1.5-point favorites against the Saints. Now, I know the Saints beat the Seahawks last week. I know it was a shootout. I know their offense actually looked alive last week under Andy Dalton. But I don't know. 1 week is 1 week. And the defense still let up a lot of points that I think hopefully Joe Burrow can take advantage of. If the Bengals can't beat the Saints, then this season is pretty much over for Cincinnati. So I'll take the money, but I'm being very cautious on this one. I would stay away from this game for a bet.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm disrespecting the Bengals. I'm taking the Saints.
All right, Johnny.
Bengals have been in close games throughout. Even in some of their losses, it's been very, very close. They are very desperate in this spot, I believe. And I know the Saints have had some life here with Andy Dalton under center. I'm assuming he's going to stand there.
Mm-hmm.
But, Tom, I'm not disrespecting the Bengals.
Don't disrespect the Bengals.
I mean, I I took them plus the points last Sunday. They did win me that, even though they didn't win the game. I'm going to ride with them here because they're really desperate. I'm taking Cincinnati laying the 1.5. Take the money.
And Morganson, by the way, is also going with the Bengals. So you know what? That's 3-1. That's a take the money. All right. Buccaneers 8.5-point favorites against the Steelers. I know they're in Pittsburgh, but I know the Buccaneers are far from what the Bills were, but I'm sorry. You can't tell me you are going to get spanked like you did against Buffalo and then ride in as an 8.5-point underdog against Brady and want to come out on top. Not happening. Take the money. I'm going Bucks.
Yeah, take the money.
Bucks are getting healthier at the receiving side, which helps. Their defense has actually been stifling as well. And Pittsburgh, just without TJ Watt, I just think that's a major problem. Unless some of the receivers go down, I mean, I might have a different pick on my show when we do our Football Friday picks on Friday. But as of right now, I would gamble and go with the 8.5 with Tampa Bay. So take the money, go for a clean sweep here.
So with a clean sweep of take the money. There we go.
That's a teeth chattering one though.
Going to the 49ers and the Falcons. The 49ers are 5.5-point favorite. I should note this is Nick Morganson's lock of the week. This is his bench lock. He is locking in the 49ers. Take the money. And I'm going to second him. I'm a little concerned about this one, but I will also take the money.
I will take the money as well.
Yeah, if I was doing a lock, this would be maybe not my number one lock, but they would be right up there. Falcons just with no Patterson and maybe no Kyle Pitts. I just don't know how they score. San Francisco showed that they could come West Coast to East Coast, no problem. I know this is a 1 o'clock Eastern game, but, I mean, their defense, again, maybe the best in the league right now. Clean sweep. Take it.
Take that money. Going on now to the Jets and the Packers at Lambeau, with the Packers a -7 favorite. Guys, it finally happened. Nick Morgan. Oh, it happened last week, right? Where he picked the Jets over the Dolphins.
He did, yes.
He did it a second week in a row. He is actually betting that the Jets will beat the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau.
Here's the thing, though. I don't. So this is going to be my bench lock.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
That'll teach you to be miserable when the Jets win.
All right, so I have 3 times this year taken the Jets plus the points when they've either been I think they've been an underdog in almost every game this year. And I've taken the Jets 3 times this year, and they've won outright all 3 times. I'm going to go halfway with this one, and maybe this could even be another upset special. The Packers, I'm going to go with the Packers to win, but they right now don't have the ability to win games big. So I'm grabbing the points with the Jets in something like a 24-20 game. I'm going to take the Jets +7.
I am going to hop on the Johnny train, and I'm going to go Splitsville between the two of you, Knicks. I think the Packers will win. I don't think it will be by 7. Yeah. And I will say this. If it somehow was to happen that the Jets march into Lambeau and they beat the Packers, the Green Bay season is over. There will be no coming back from that. It will be absolutely humiliating. It will probably be the most humiliating loss of Aaron Rodgers' career.
I don't know if I would be ready to go that far, but it would definitely be very, very concerning. You'll be playing that alarming sound.
The alarms will go off again.
Times 10 if Green Bay loses this one.
I think not to disrespect our Giants, but I think red flags should already be going off that they lost to the Giants. If you lose to the Giants and Jets in back-to-back weeks, especially, London was basically a second home for you, and you lose in your actual home to the Jets, there should be
there's something wrong.
There is something really wrong with this team. We will have to have a whole debate on next week's show if that happens.
Ooh, does that mean I get to stage an intervention? Oh, great. I'll bring the potato chips and the soda.
Aaron, it's time for an intervention. You seriously need to get immunized. And I'm not talking about immunized against winning.
You can't just take a thimble full of gravy and just baste yourself with it. It doesn't work like that.
You can't just go to your girlfriend and get some magic witch spell.
You just get look. There are so many things that Eye of Newt can cure. This is not one of them.
So we have one that's super take the money and Nick Fodera, and then a couple of us who are saying don't take the money. This is a split
Okay,
game.
I'm out on an island this week.
But you know what? For the Packers' sake, Fodera, you better be right for their own sake. The Vikings and the Dolphins. The Vikings are -3 favorite, being on the road. Tua definitely out. No word on Bridgewater or if it's going to be Skyler. The third string.
See, normally if it was Tua playing, I would definitely take the Dolphins, but seeing as how Kirk Cousins seems to be the last man standing.
And the Dolphins defense is just weak. I'm sorry.
The Dolphins defense is not, I mean, it's not what
they can be strong. They can be strong, but they've let up quite a bit over the last couple of weeks.
So I'm taking the money.
I am also taking the money.
Yeah, part of the reason that could be with the Dolphins' D is when you're out on the field as long as they are, you're going 3 and out and not having long drives on offense. I don't care how good your defense is; it's going to get exposed. All right, let's get a checklist here. Is this game early?
Yes. Yes.
It's an early window game. It's not on prime time.
Oh.
So I'm rolling with Minnesota. Take the money, clean sweep.
And Morganson went with the Vikings. So it's a super clean sweep. Take that money. Okay, I think now we go into our 4:00 games. 3 4:00 games this week. The Panthers visit the Rams in LA. The Rams are an 8.5-point favorite. As we mentioned before, PJ Walker will be starting at quarterback, and it will be the first game without Matt Rule as head coach.
Okay, no matter how bad the Rams have looked, I'm still taking the Rams.
Yeah, I'm still going to take the money because it seems like, as I mentioned before, the Panthers are already throwing the towel in on this season.
See, now some of the lines do have the Rams a double-digit favorite, which I think is absolutely absurd. This is actually one of my strongest plays of the week. I am taking Carolina plus the points. I don't think they'll win the game, but PJ Walker and a new coach, I think, will give them life. Guys, the Rams are not good. This is a Super Bowl hangover of the nth degree with the LA Rams. I mean, there's nothing on offense. There's no Whitworth there. Matt Stafford has regressed so much. I don't know if just because he's been so rusty because he didn't play in the preseason or all. Sean McVay, they had major problems over there. I mean, it was pretty much like a Dallas Cowboy home game there at SoFi last week. So maybe they'll pull this one out, but they're not going to win by more than 9 points. I'm taking Carolina plus 8.5, and this would be one of my strongest plays of the week.
You still are going Rams though, and Morganson is still going.
I wouldn't even be surprised if Carolina pulls this one out just because of how bad the Rams really are. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to go bold and go full upset special, I would. I'm going to go halfway though. I say the Rams win by like a field goal or maybe like 5 points or so. Ooh. They're just not good enough to be favored by this much against anybody. I don't even care as bad as Carolina's been.
Cardinals at the Seahawks. The Cardinals somehow go into Seattle as a 2.5-point favorite. I think this is a joke. I think Kyler Murray is counting his lucky stars that DeAndre Hopkins is back next week. I don't see with how good the Seattle offense has been. Think about this. Geno Smith is a better quarterback right now than Russell Wilson. It seems like Seattle fleeced Denver at this point, but I don't think that's an indication on Denver. I mean, on Russell Wilson. That's an indication on Mr. Hack because Denver thought that they were going to get Aaron Rodgers, and they went, "Oh, we don't get Rodgers because he's staying over there. Let's get Russell Wilson instead."
I know you couldn't get Aaron Rodgers, but I'd like to. Can I interest you in a slightly used Russell Wilson? So
I'm going upset city.
I'm going upset city too.
Oof. This is one of those games. Again, Kyler Murray. First of all, Kyler Murray's got to do it all for Arizona really to have a chance. They're just trying to tread water here until DeAndre Hopkins returns. But this is one of those games that I circled on the calendar, and I said, look, Seattle may not be a great team, but they're going to find a way to win these kind of games. We're 3 for 3 in this upset special. Seahawks plus 2.5. I think they win this game something like 20-17.
We got super upset special because Morganson is also going with the upset.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Game of the week, potential game of the year. The Bills will travel to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. We might have an AFC championship preview right here. The Bills are a 3-point favorite.
I'm going to take the Bills because I don't like the way the Chiefs have looked, even though they did pull it off against the Raiders on Monday. So I do think that line is about right because if they're going to win, they're going to win close.
Yeah. The Chiefs, even as being favorites at home, when they were at home and being favored against the two AFC West teams that they played already at home this year, have not covered either of those ones. And now you're an underdog in this spot. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of things with Kansas City that I see that I would be a little bit concerned about. I think Buffalo pulls this one out in a thriller, say 31-27. So I'm going to take the money with Buffalo.
I was leaning towards taking Kansas City, but you guys are making good points. Plus, one other thing, the Bills' only loss, the only team that really has given them a lot of trouble, was Miami. And Miami is looking like a completely different team than when they faced the Bills in week 3 for various circumstances. So, you know what? I will go with you guys. I will also go with the Bills. Let's see what Morganson does. Morganson's going Chiefs.
If there was an extra half point tacked onto that, I might take KC plus 3.5. We'll see if that's the case when we do our picks for game on Friday. But as of right now, I still think Buffalo pulls this one out 31-27, a very close one.
Take that money.
Yep.
Going to our Sunday night game of the week. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Eagles are -6 favorite in Philadelphia. This one with the Giants being they'll either be 4-2 or 5-1 by the time this game comes around. This is a matchup, as much as us Giants fans may not like watching this kind of matchup for your Sunday night, this is one to keep an eye on already at this point in the season.
I would say I'm going to take the Eagles because you know what? Jalen Hurts is – Cooper Rush has played well, but Jalen Hurts has just been setting everybody on fire. So
Jalen Hurts has been proving everybody right. I mean, think about it. He didn't even need A.J. Brown much in that last game, as bad as it hurt one of my fantasy teams. But Jalen Hurts has shown, he can pass. He has A.J. Brown as a weapon. And even he can pull off his little, a mini Lamar Jackson by running all over the field. He has truly developed. He is living up to the hype thus far in this NFL season. Obviously Cooper Rush has been doing well, but he's not a true starter. I know the Cowboys have a tough defense, but I think Jalen has the capability to get around all of that. So I am also going to say take the money and go with the Eagles.
All right, so 3 things. Number 1, I would take I'll sign up for a 20-20 final score in this game, please. Giants fan.
You write that down?
Yes, so hopefully with
Johnny goes the tie, yes.
Yes, let's go the tie, which means that if I take Dallas, they would win, that I would win this one. Number 2, very interesting to see if Dak actually does return. If you remember there was discussion that he wasn't quite ready to return against the Rams. Maybe he's close to returning here. Maybe that could be the spot. That'd be something to watch too. Otherwise, Cooper Rush has played well enough to give the Cowboys a chance to win all these games too. I'm curious. Before I make my pick, what did Morganson take? Who did Morganson take?
Yeah, let's see. Morganson, he went Eagles.
Philadelphia struggled a little bit against Arizona, and you know what? Great teams don't win those. Find a way to win all these kinds of games. I got a very weird suspicion about this game. You know what? Upset special. I'm taking Dallas to win. I don't think Philadelphia is going to go 17-0, and Dallas is just going to find enough things to do to win this game. I think it's very close, but I think Dallas pulls this one out with or without Dak.
All right. And Monday Night Football this week. It's going to be the Broncos against the Chargers in LA. The Chargers are 5.5-point favorite. Why? Why must we suffer with yet another national broadcast of the Broncos? I get it. Because we all, you know what? I'm guilty of it. We all thought that with Russell Wilson, that offense was going to flourish with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon and Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy and all of them. But now Javonte Williams is out for the year, and Nathaniel Hackett is living up to the first 4 letters of his name. hack.
I'm still taking the Chargers.
I say take the money in this one. I've lost all faith in the Broncos already, especially after that horrific Thursday night game.
Yeah, I feel for Buck Aikman and Salters who have to call this one on ESPN on Monday night. Broncos, not only their play on the field, but they are really banged up now injury-wise. They lost a lot of guys. They lost a couple of players just this past week for season-ending injuries. Chargers, I think, are getting healthier at the right time, and I think they – I don't know about the home field advantage because I don't know what kind of home field advantage SoFi Stadium really is, but I'm going to take the team with the better coach and the better better coach. God, Brandon Staley's not a great coach either, but I'm going to take the better team still nonetheless, and that's the LA Chargers laying the 5.5. So take the money.
Take that money.